Hey guys, Mr.BeetleBum here. So today we loaded up the Sandbox, we jumped in it, and we tested out all this equipment changes that are coming. Now, of course, this is just a test. We're just testing it all out. But I was really excited about it when I saw, all these new cool equipment pieces that are coming out, man. And I was like, I can't wait to check this out, man. And then there's the decals and everything that change as you get better. I'm like, that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. So, of course, the question is, did I like it or did I not like it? Well, I'm about to tell you. Oh, this hurts the head, man. This hurts the head. Well, guys, I'm on like take 7 or 8 here now, man, trying to get this video done. And I think I'm just going to give up on it. Um, I'm not normally short for, lost for words or anything, but it's really hard to explain this. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. I was looking forward to this idea of updating equipment. It's like I've been playing this game for 7.5 years and they haven't done anything to it, and I thought, oh, that'd be great. This is beyond silly, though. This is one of those sandboxes where I hope they take it and they just blow up everything that they've done and forget everything they've done and just start all over. Fire the people who thought this was a good idea and get some people with some common sense and start again. And I know I sound like a prick right now, but I've already spent I don't know how long it's been now trying to film this in a non, rude way, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Wargaming, what are you thinking making new players have to pay gold to put on Binox, Camo Net, or repair kit or toolbox, whatever it's called? Do you not make enough money? Is that really your issue? You really got to start charging new players to move around that stuff? Why don't you just grab a brain and actually make different new skins? Sell them for $30 American a pop, man. Why don't you figure out there's tons of ways you could be making money off this game properly that people like me would actually pay for. Instead of screwing over new players and making them not want to play your game anymore. It's like, where the hell's the logic, man? Why are you making people pay 10 gold every time? It's ridiculous. Why are you making it so that passive scouts, who are probably the smallest percentage of players in this great game that we've got here, you've even say on your own website, Wargaming, you say and have videos showing that scouts are supposed to spot for the team. They are given passive concealment so that they can go out, venture into that no man's land between the two teams, or even over to the other side for crying out loud, or just before. Either way, into a space where they're in danger. So what happens? They're given passive concealment to help them. And now, people like me are always preaching, play your tank right, because so many people, all they care about is the stupid color purple, and they all want to be known as Unicum players. So what do? They jump in their light tanks and they go to the back and they get beside a tank destroyer who's sniping, and they snipe instead of helping their team. Why? Because it's easy, and because there's nothing stopping them. They learn how low expected value works and how the win rate system works, and they realize it's super easy to do. And if you play tanks like that for a month, it's going to take a long time before your colors are going to come down. Anyways, the reason why I bring that up is because you, brilliance, have made it even easier for people to just say, you know what, fuck scouting, I'm just going to stat pad. I'm just going to snipe, man. Because now you've made it so Camo Net and Binox, I know this isn't in the game yet, but this is your sandbox. Normally your sandboxes only have some stuff that's messed up. Normally I'm behind your sandboxes. I'm like, well, okay, I don't really agree with that, but I see what they're trying to do. They need to go back and try to figure out how to do this better. Right now I'm just saying, what the hell are you doing? What were you thinking? What were you on? Put the vodka down, maybe, Risky? Like, dude, seriously? You're taking concealment away from passive scouts. The reason what they're doing, guys, is they've said is binocs and camo nets are no longer going to be able to be put onto a light tank. Very interesting. You can put it on a tank destroyer, but you can't put it on a light tank. Interesting. What about mediums? What about the ones you just buffed? A few mediums last year, I believe. The Leopard, what was the other one? The STV1. So that they could, the Leopard especially. So I believe your words were, we were going to bring the Leopard back to its former glory as when it was a sniping medium. And it was a terror. Everyone knew when there was a Leopard, you know, hiding out in the forest part of the map that, you know, you better get cover. Yeah, taking concealment, taking the camo net and binocs away from a Leopard, not too smart. Not too smart. You give it a buff and then you nerf it. It just doesn't make sense to me, man. I don't think any equipment has ever been specifically for one class of tank. And I don't understand why you're going to do that now. It just doesn't make sense. If I want to put binocs and a camo net on a mouse, I should be able to do that, plain and simple. If I want to do that, why would I do that? Who knows? But I should be able to do that if I want to do that. You know, and in my stream I just finished, when I was in the sandbox, we talked, me and all the viewers, we were talking about how, you know, yeah, right now in the game there are certain things that certain equipment that certain tanks can't use. To which I said I agree, but it's different. What I mean by that is, you know, someone said, well, what about vents? You can't put them in open hatch TDs. I said, you're right. You can put them in TDs, though. You just can't put them in an open hatch because it makes sense. You can't have an open hatch tank and have AC going. You know what I mean? How do you do that? You're just pumping it into the open air. So it makes sense. You can't put a gun rammer into a progetto because of the mechanisms within the progetto, that allow it to do its continual loading and whatnot. There is no equipment that is not allowed on a specific class, and the fact that you're doing that is just dumb. Dumb. Nobody wants restrictive equipment. That's what makes it fun, is being able to change the equipment around. Yes, you're right. There is normally about 4 or 5 items that get used the most, but there's still a lot of people that do mix and match stuff. And I was really excited about some of these things. You know, the backwards reverse, which is completely useless. There's like 3%. 3% of what's the average reverse speed? 15 kilometers an hour. Do you know what 3% of that is? You won't even notice it. It's a complete joke. Like, okay, thanks for coming out. Throw it away. It's a useless idea. Anyways, I thought it would be brilliant. And it is a brilliant idea if you kick it up a bit. When you're sniping, one of the big things is there's always those times where you got to shoot even though you know you're going to get spotted. That would be awesome if you could have this special booster on just that one tank that you're going to use for doing that, so that you can haul ass backwards really quick. But yeah, 3%. I'm sorry, but it's laughable. At least maybe make it 3 miles an hour or 3 kilometers an hour, and then even still it's going to be weak, but it might do something. Anyways, the fact that you're making new players pay, or you're making all players pay to move camo nets and binocs and your repair kits around, that's strike number 1. Strike number 2 is that you're making certain equipment only for other equipment, and you're not even getting it right as to which ones should do it. I mean, like, the fact that you're thinking in your head that light tanks don't need to be passive, it boggles my mind beyond reason. It tells me that Wargaming has changed its tune, but just not changed your writing on your website. I'm very confused. If you try to tell everybody that you want them to be playing their scouts, or sorry, their light tanks as scouts, and that's why they've been given passive concealment, then why the hell is it that every year you've done thing after thing after thing after thing, enter wheelies into the game to blow and make it almost impossible to scout against them when they're flying around, when they've been given their own auto aim and anyways, I don't want to get there, but like, you keep doing stuff that goes against what you say you want us, or how classes are supposed to be played. Then on top of that, then there's classification. And what I mean by that is, on this tank right here, I've got one slot which gives me a bonus for mobility, and another slot that gives me a bonus for scouting. My favorite tank, this is the tank that I play all the time to kill wheelies and whatnot, and I absolutely love it. And I get mobility and scouting. And that kind of seems fair, lets me do a little bit of bonus to both. But what I really need on this one, you see, is this is kind of like going with strengths. And what I really like is something to give me weakness. I'd rather be boosting my weakness than my strengths. In other words, the wheelies get these crazy shells where they can do high damage, and yet I can't do that. So why don't you give me a boost in firepower and somehow make it so that I can boost that up a little bit more? And I'm talking about creating a new item that will help maybe boost up power a bit, which you don't have. Vents, I'm not talking about something that's already here. I'm talking about something new. And it's going for power. And before I go further, let me just show you something of what I'm talking about. This tank right here is a perfect example. Do you think that this tank is pretty much, good for... do you think this tank is pretty much good for survivability? Meaning it's got thick armor already, and it's doing pretty good. Might want maybe some help in the weakness part of it. No. You've given them both survivability, which is all about like spall liners and stuff and making it stronger. Dude, you're helping its strength and you're not helping its weakness. The reason why I say that is because something really weird is happening with the lights. My guy that I play, I get one of each, right? Not really going for my strengths. Whereas this one completely goes for its weakness. Why does the wheelie get 2 slots, both for its weakness? Its vision is shit. So it gets help in both of them. It gets bonuses for some way to make, using these, which are really good, by the way, 20% to concealment of vehicles behind foliage. So in other words, I'm seeing my light, who doesn't have a camo net anymore, doesn't have binocs, and now you get to give this guy minus 20% of my concealment while I sit in a bush trying to spot him. You could do minus 17% to concealment of the penalty after shooting. You can do your 9% to concealment, 12.5% reduced concealment to moving vehicles. You're playing to the weakness on the wheelie, but yet you're playing to the strengths on the French track one. And I see that's the only one. Can I just go over the other ones? Do I see double eyes anywhere? Anyone? Oh, there's one. Oh, it's a French wheelie. Oh, no, not that one. Elk Even? Nope. Another track one? Nope. Only the wheelies. So, I don't know what the hell is going on right now. But I'll just end it on this, because again, I'm going way too long. I'm already at 13 minutes here, guys. I just want to get out of the sandbox so fast. I want to get back to my game and just start farming high calibers for the mission in my SU-130. I don't even want to think. I want to just keep drinking and not even think about this stupid sandbox. Brilliant idea, changing equipment, total clusterfuck in delivery. That's how I put it. There's going to be a lot of players out there who are going to love it. especially guys. I'm telling you right now, and I don't mean that everyone who loves it is with this person. Stat padders are going to be fucking dancing in the street right now with all the stuff that's in here. I mean, that is just fucking perfect if you want to try to hang back and just farm damage, man. I mean, it's bonkers, man. I'm just already thinking of my tank destroyer is going to be so fucking crazy. I mean, give me the binocs and a camo net, and I don't know, throw in the one that takes away the concealment of my enemy in their bushes. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a whole whackload of stuff there that just seems weird. Balance, not at all. Not at all. Especially when you start doing these bonuses. And, you know, the fact that the French wheelie gets 2 vision ones to have double bonus in. Do you not think that other lights might like to have more vision? At the beginning of this video, I was like, ah! And that's how I feel. It's the worst clusterfuck of a sandbox I've seen out of all of them. And like I said, normally it doesn't bother me because, as we always say, this is just testing, guys. This ain't the real thing. But I said this at the beginning. I think I said this because, remember, I'm on like, what is this, take 9 or 10? I don't even know anymore. I've given up trying to count how many takes I've done. But I think I said this at the beginning. If I didn't, it was somewhere else. Normally what happens is wargaming brings out something to be tested. And when we go and we test it, we go, meh, I like what you're doing. I can see where you're going with this, but you really got to tweak a couple things. Whereas where I look at this and I go, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, way to take a great idea and just screw it right up. I'm really trying my best, guys, not to be rude, not to be like, you know, putting down to wargaming. Wargaming, you got yourself a fucking great game, beautiful game, fun game. Mechanics are working good. Spotting needs some help, but other than that, you got a fucking awesome game that I passionately love. I wouldn't be out there streaming and making YouTube videos and like, especially the streaming part of like constantly trying to teach people how to play and showing them how to do stuff. I wouldn't be doing that, making no money on it, simply for if the game was like okay. I fucking love this game. I think my actions should speak for that. The fact that I'm talking so negative about this isn't because I'm trying to get ratings or get more views or anything. It's because the fucking sandbox is beyond stupid. Who the fuck thought of taking up binocs and camo net off of lights? Fucking idiot, man. Like, there's so much of this sandbox. I can't wait to just delete this. There is so much wrong with this sandbox. I'm having a hard time enjoying the stuff that I think is cool because there's so many glaring things that are wrong with it that are going to screw this game up. And I don't mean small. I mean really big. Done. 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 I'm deleting the sandbox. I'm not going back in it. I'm not even going to talk about it. I think in my streams, I don't think I'll answer questions, but we're not dwelling on it. Holy fuck, you fucked up, wargaming. My God, I hope this is not what comes out, because it's a joke. Mr.BeetleBum out.